The streak that you're on right now, man, maybe fighting better than ever. I mean, what do you feel it is? Like, what clicked or what's working right now that you're getting these results?
Well, I had one of the worst losses that you could possibly ever have in the UFC or in any type of combat sports. Kind of ironic. It's infamous for me always going to the cage and doing the dab, and then I lose like in that type of fashion. It's kind of crazy, but I feel like it doesn't get any worse than that, you know? So when you factor that in, that was like my biggest fear into coming into the sport to begin with. And now that that's out of the way, it's kind of like, well, now I don't have anything to worry about. I know I can take a shot. I know I'm tough. I know I'm fast. I know I'm strong. I'm athletically gifted, I think. And I work my fucking balls off. So I just, at this point, just kind of like just go out there, have fun, and whatever happens is going to happen. So just trust in my abilities, trust in my instincts, and trust in my training.
That's incredible. So it's just kind of freeing to go like, well, it happened. The worst thing that could happen happened, and life carried on.
It kind of reminds me of when I was undefeated for so long, and people always say you're always kind of concentrating on not losing the O. When sometimes you don't really think about it. It's just people always bring it up, and then it's like, you're right, I can't lose that O. And then you're constantly thinking about it. And the same thing with that. It's like, as long as you don't get knocked out, everything is golden, you know? And it just happened to go down like that, but it is what it is.
That's interesting. All right, well, prepping for this fight, give me an idea. The whole time you were getting ready, were you thinking, boy, I sure hope somebody gets hurt, or I sure hope somebody has to pull out, maybe I get a title fight in here?
You know, I never wish injury on anybody, but if someone slips on a banana peel, I'm your guy. I am your guy.
What did you think about the title fight? I mean, you know, Cejudo getting to come up and challenge for the belt. I mean, I guess it made more sense, I think, when Dillashaw was champ. But with Dillashaw gone, do you believe Cejudo should be fighting for the title?
I mean, Cejudo was going to get the shot anyway to begin with. He has fought at 135 because he had some struggles making flyweight in the past, but now it seems like he kind of has that a little bit more under control. Even though the guy's like 5 foot nothing, I don't even understand how he can't make weight. But yeah, it's, you know, I always knew after beating Rivera I was gonna have to fight one more. That was already in the back of my mind because I already knew Marlon was ahead of me and he was probably gonna fight TJ. TJ was out. I knew there was a possible chance that I could slide in, and I knew there was a possible chance I was still gonna have to get that one more fight. And here we are taking that one more fight. Kudos to Cejudo for getting the shot. And I think this fight will leave no more doubt and really solidify myself as a true #1 contender in this division.
I sense that you're not much of a Cejudo fan.
I like to break his balls because, you know, he has a freaking gold medal. Did you hear?
I have not. I need to do my research on that. So you just like to break his balls a little bit, huh?
Yeah, I'm a ball buster, man. People think I'm like, I talk trash. I'm like, I like to have fun. I like a little gamesmanship. I like to make the fights and wrestling matches a little bit more competitive. We're playing video games and make it more competitive, raise the stakes a little bit. You know, I think when you get into the sport, you start to see all these guys who are afraid to talk, afraid to say stuff because they don't want to eat their words. And I'm not afraid of that, man. I like the challenge, you know. Where I grew up, man, you talk a little shit, we talk shit back. And if you don't, you get punked, you get laughed at and out of the cafeteria, and you're the laughing stock for the rest of the week, probably the next month or two. So that's just my attitude, my demeanor, and growing up the way I grew up, man, the verbal lashings were brutal, you know. So there's nothing no one can really say to me. I don't think there's anything anyone can say to me that could kind of shake me or break me and break my confidence or any type of such a way. And at the end of the day, we're gonna fight each other anyway. Why not raise the stakes a little bit unless you're scared?
Makes it more fun, right? I mean, so when you know the PED row with Pedro, Pedro. I mean, so is that really you just kind of have a little fun and taking shots, or do you really kind of you view him as a cheater?
I do view him as a previous cheater. I'm not saying he's cheating now, but I still believe there's something that has to be said for his test results. I know when you go through a tough training camp as men, having a woman and, you know, getting down in training, your T levels don't go up, they go down, buddy. So explain that to me. I'm no doctor, I'm no scientist. I'm just saying the commission said it, I'm not saying it. So if you want to be mad at me, I guess be mad at the commission too. I have no ill will against Pedro. Like I said, I like to break balls, have fun. You know, this is a tough sport, man. To be taking this shit serious every single day is like, hey, you can't. It stresses you out, man. To have a little fun, to have some way of enjoying the moment and whatnot. This is how I do it and how I express myself. So I know Pedro's tough. I know he's a good competitor. I know he's a dangerous threat. And at the end of the day, I still think I'm better. I think June 8th is just not going to be his night. Hashtag bad night for Pedro.
Nice. I was going to ask you, breaking him down as a competitor, I mean, obviously at the top of the division where you're at, everybody's tough, right? Everybody's good. But, I mean, is there anything in particular he does that you think is most concerning, or what you need to avoid or look out for?
I think the biggest thing that he does is he hurts guys with calf kicks. I don't really get kicked like that. The one time I was overly concerned with kicks was with Jimmy Rivera and Marlon Moraes. And, I mean, I did get kicked kind of /kneed by Marlon, but Rivera probably kicked me 2 times, and he's a very good calf kicker. You saw what he did to Uriah Faber, shut that down, and he couldn't, he shut Faber down. He couldn't even, I think he might have landed one, and that's because I stood there right in front of him. I'm a moving target. I'm hard to hit, and I think the finesse is going to be too much for Pedro. I think, and I'm just analyzing it as someone trying to step back and look from the outside looking in, and I see what I've done in my previous fights. I see what he's done, and I see the talent that he's fighting and what these guys do. And they're all stationary targets. They're willing to trade. Brian Caraway's just looking to go forward. He's heavy on his front foot, trying to get a takedown. Got his foot eaten up. Cody Garbrandt looking to sit down, bite on his mouthpiece. He just wants to trade. He doesn't even throw kicks. He got his leg chewed up before he decided to go crazy after the headbutt. And, he landed some good shots. Pedro just seemed to just weave out of like 2 or 3 shots that probably would have put him out, and was able to get his head off the center line and connect first before Cody was. But Cody did land some good shots in that fight, and he did rock and hurt Pedro. And then the Brett Johns fight, I guess Brett Johns' core just wasn't up to par, those front kicks, and then the calf kicks, another boxing-style grappler, heavy on the front foot, just wants to trade. And look to see what happens. And I think I'm a different animal, different beast, and that's just an honest assessment of where we're both at. I think this is my fight to lose, and I would have to legit just be a stationary target for him to bum rush, beat up, and be a punching bag, and I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that Huckleberry.
It's a good evaluation. I think we're all looking at this as a #1 contender fight. I mean, has that been promised to you? Has that been suggested? Or do you believe this is a #1 contender fight?
This is a #1 contenders fight. I don't care what Dana says. I don't care what Sean Shelby says. I don't care what Ari Emanuel says. This is the true #1 contenders fight. Number 3 versus number 4. It's going down. May the best man win. And no, they haven't said anything to me yet, but I think the fans know it. The UFC brass knows it. And I think the media knows it as well.
Yeah. You have any idea who you're going to be fighting when you fight for the title? Who do you think is walking away with the belt?
I really don't know. But I will say it will play better into my favor if Henry were to get the win in terms of the whole rematch thing, and that fight's not interesting right now. Oh my God, I've heard that so many times, and then guys come back the second fight and it's fight of the year candidates. You look at Chad Mendes versus Jose Aldo too. A crazy war. Frank Yeager rematch with I forget his name, Jose Aldo also. You can't take nothing for that first fight and compare it to the second one. I'm a completely different fighter now, completely different space. And whether or not Marlon wins, like I said, may the best man win. I really have no horse in that race. I just want to fight the best guy and be the best guy in the world.
Nice. So obviously you got to get your business handled first before you worry about that. So give me an idea. I mean, you broke it down pretty well. So how do you see this fight playing out? How do you get the win?
I think I touch him up a little bit. He gets frustrated. He rushes in. Maybe he even decides to shoot. And I think I will. Pedro Munoz. I really do think so. We've been working on our own guillotine chokes. I think people realize my grappling game is no joke as well, and it's different. It's unorthodox. I get you down, and it's not just grappling you're worried about. There's a lot of elbows and a lot of ground and pound coming your way and towards your face. I'm looking for that pretty little nose to slice that open.